What a year the Brooklyn Nets had in the 2018-2019 season. They've come a long way from rebuilding without draft picks, after they sent a lot of those to the Celtics for KG and Paul Pierce in 2013, to making the playoffs this past season and getting 2 superstars this offseason. They had one goal coming into this offseason: open up cap space and sign 2 big-name free agents, who happened to be Kyrie and Durant. In the 2019 draft, the Nets had the 17th, 27th, and 31st pick, but they sent the 17th pick to the Hawks, along with Alan Crabb and a 2020 first round pick for Torian Prince and a 2021 second round pick. The Nets essentially cleared $15 million in cap space, but they also got a decent 3-and-D wing out of the trade. Their own 2020 first round pick is lottery protected until 2022, and they'll turn into 2 second rounders after that. All in all, this was a great trade, and the Nets got what they wanted. They traded the 27th pick as well, again to clear salary. The Nets received the 56th pick and a 2020 first round pick for the 27th pick. The first round pick is lottery protected, and it'll be another late first rounder next year. They drafted Nicholas Claxton with the 31st pick and Jalen Hands with the 56th pick. Both were great value picks, as Claxton had first round potential, and nabbing him with the first second round pick allowed the Nets to structure their own contract. Nick Claxton is a developmental project with modern day stretch big potential. He averaged around 13 points, 8 rebounds, and over 2 blocks per game, while shooting 46% from the field and 28% from deep. Claxton's potential and his combination of size, fluidity, and coordination reminds me of Lamar Odom. Currently, I would compare him to Mason Plumlee, a defensive big with above average perimeter skills. If he can get stronger and become at least respectable behind the arc, he can definitely impact the game like Odom did. Jalen Hands won't see a lot of floor time this season as their 3rd string point guard. He is an athletic guard who improved his shooting and playmaking in his sophomore year in UCLA. He'll need to tighten his handles and become more consistent on defense. If Hands does develop into a rotational player, that is more than what the Nets could ask for with the 56th pick. Torian Prince is a pretty standard 3-and-D wing, who was tasked to create for himself in the past 2 years. With Kyrie, Dinwiddie, and LeVert, he won't be doing too much besides spacing the floor and defending the other team's best player. His experience of creating for himself will definitely help if defenses force him off the 3-point line. He's not the purest shooter and doesn't excel shooting on the move. Prince shot just under 43% on catch and shoot threes, but I don't expect the Nets to run him off pin downs like they did for Joe Harris. But when the defense has to focus on Kyrie, Harris, LeVert, Dinwiddie, and eventually Durant, Prince would get wide open looks behind the arc. On June 29th, the Woj bomb dropped and Kyrie Irving signed with the Nets. Apparently he already made his decision in December 2018, 2 months after this. Awkward. Anyways, Kyrie is definitely an upgrade over D'Lo, and the stats back that up. Here are the percentile of different play types between the 2 players. Kyrie is either the same or better in all categories. The Nets won't need much adjustment with Kyrie replacing D'Lo. They'll continue running pick and rolls and isolation for Kyrie, just like they were doing with D'Lo last year. Kyrie will shoulder the offense, especially with KD out during his first season with the Nets, and his usage will be similar to his Cleveland days than in Boston. D'Lo was used as a pick and roll ball handler for 50% of his play type, so I'd expect the Nets to do the same with a better offensive player like Kyrie to initiate their offense. An interesting thing to monitor is whether Kyrie's tendency to isolate will lower the Nets' pace. The Nets have been near the top of the league in pace in the past few years, but Kyrie's previous teams has always been below average in pace. Increased pace allows easy baskets in transition for teams that struggle to score in the half court. Adding Kyrie will help with the half court scoring, but this might hurt the rest of the team if they have to stand around and watch Kyrie isolate. The trade for Kevin Durant was amazing, because not only did they get a top 5 player in the league when he's healthy, but they also squeezed around $80 million in contract value from their $69 million cap room. Without the sign-in trade, the Nets wouldn't have been able to offer the contract that they gave to Kyrie and DeAndre Jordan, and get KD at the same time. The trade sent D'Lo, Napier, and Graham to the Warriors for KD and a 2020 pick. Getting both Kyrie and KD means they had to announce the rights to D'Lo to sign both of them, but this trade fetched them at least a late first round pick and opened up 2 roster spots. During the Kenny Atkinson era, the Nets have been lacking a scoring threat at the forward position since Bojan Bogdanovic. They like to play small and played DeMarre Carroll and Rondé Hollis-Jefferson at the 4, but none were as good as Kevin Durant. It's likely that KD won't play this season. When KD does play, he'll provide a much needed scoring punch at the forward position, provide the spacing that Hollis-Jefferson couldn't, and more rim protection than Carroll. I'm not fond of the DeAndre Jordan signing. The only reason it made sense was because he's great friends with Kyrie and Durant, who both took a little less money so they could give Jordan the 4-year $40 million contract. Jordan has already started his decline since his game is predicated on his athleticism. His name currently holds more value than his actual on-court impact. Last year, his box score numbers looked good, but his defense wasn't the same, and he was hunting for easy rebounds. What makes this signing worse is that the Nets already have a starting caliber center in Jarrett Allen with the same skill set, who impacts the team positively and 10 years younger. Would Jordan be satisfied with not starting games and only playing around 20 minutes a night? Even if he does, that contract is an overpay for a backup center, especially since they let Ed Davis go, who signed a much cheaper contract with the Jazz. Maybe Jordan would be more engaged on a competitive team and playing with his best buds this season. His improvements at the free throw line is encouraging, but he would need to do more than just put up empty numbers in a smaller role to live up to his contract value. On the bright side, it's easy to see how Jordan will fit into the Nets system. Like Jarrett Allen did last season, Jordan will set hard screens and stay in the dunker spot and let the guards and wings create for them. They picked up Garrett Temple quite early in free agency on a 2-year $10 million deal. I'm not a huge fan of this contract, but it's not the worst either. Despite becoming a full-time starter for the Grizzlies, he didn't make much of an impact. His numbers got worse after joining the Clippers, so I don't think he had a very big market in free agency, since he's not a lockdown defender nor a knockdown shooter. With the same money, the Nets could have picked up Justin Holiday, who's a better scorer, defender, and younger than Temple. Some can argue that Temple could provide some veteran presence. Oh wait, never mind. I like that they got Wilson Chandler for the minimum. Last season, Kenny Atkinson had to pick his poison at the power forward position. With Chandler on board, Atkinson won't have to choose anymore. Chandler provides enough spacing, defense, and experience in scoring. At worst, he'll be a switchable defender at the forward position with limited shooting, but that's still a bargain for the minimum, even if he's suspended for the first 25 games. The Nets also signed David Nwaba to a 2-year, $3.5 million contract, which is another bargain. Nwaba is a great defensive hustler who can guard 1 through 4. Offensively, Nwaba struggles to make jump shots, but he makes up for it by staying active and attacking the rim. He's a career 32% 3-point shooter on just under 1 attempt a game, so we have to improve on that to play besides Kyrie and KD. On the bright side, it is easy to see how he'll fit into the Nets system. Last offseason, the Nets picked up Trevon Graham, who was regarded as an emerging 3-and-D wing. Unfortunately, Graham couldn't shoot or score at all, but did provide enough defense to have a positive 2.3 net rating. That means the Nets were able to put enough shooters around a non-shooter in Graham to make him effective, so I'd expect they'll do the same with Nwaba. Here's the summary of their offseason moves. Obviously, the Nets were a winner in free agency, and I would grade their offseason an A. The Nets essentially upgraded every part of their team. From Russell to Kyrie, Carroll to KD, Dudley to Chandler, Hollis-Jefferson to Prince, and Graham to Nwaba. They also added 2 first-round picks along with the upgraded roster. This is their projected depth chart, and they'll probably start Kyrie, LeVert, Harris, Prince, and Allen, assuming both Chandler and Kurucs aren't available. They'll probably be contending for the 3rd to 6th seed this season with the Celtics and the Pacers. Adding KD to the mix will definitely make them a championship contender, but without him, they're not making it past the Sixers and Bucks. Please comment down below on what you think of the Nets offseason. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.